Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the Anything Wrestling Podcast. Thank you once again for joining us and listening in. We are back here today with another episode. We are here to preview SummerSlam 2019, which is coming up this Sunday only on the WWE Network for a non-negotiable but very reasonable price of only $9.99. Before we get started for today, there is a piece of business that we want to take care of. Over this, go ahead.
So normally, we would always introduce the show, of course, with our two sponsors of the network and our Instagram page. It's kind of humbling because, all right. If you're a fan of this, you know that you learn about all these people that have paved the way for some of our favorite wrestlers. Obviously, like Triple H or Shawn Michaels or The Undertaker. Guys like Ric Flair or Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage, Ultimate Warrior. But you don't recognize the guys like Bruno Sammartino or even this man that passed away recently at the age of 76. You arguably probably one of the greatest of all time, no matter what. And without this man in professional wrestling, I don't think there would be half of these superstars, or let alone any of them. So normally, again, like I said, we usually introduce introductions, sponsors. But we want to take a quick moment before we preview SummerSlam 2019 to honor the memory of the very first King of the Ring, the very first heavyweight champion, as far as to set the standard of being a true champion, Harley Race.
Also, along with Harley Race, we want to pay our tributes to the people that were affected by the shootings that went on this past week. One was, I believe, in El Paso, Texas, and there was another one, I forget where it was.
Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah.
And even before that, there was one in Gilroy, California as well.
So this has become a very serious issue. It seems like every other day that we're hearing about a new massive shooting that's going on. It happened at a local Walmart where multiple people were affected by it, either wounded or unfortunately, passed away. So we would like to pay our tribute for a couple seconds here to both Harley Race and to all those who were affected by the shooting. So let's do that right now. Well, with that, again, the task at hand, previewing SummerSlam 2019 coming up in just a few days.
Normally it's the three of us. It's Dan the Man, LaShawn, and myself, the commish, previewing the upcoming pay-per-views. Of course, it's just a one-on-one this episode, but we're going to give you what Dan gave us as far as notes go. God bless you.
Thank you.
And we're going to give you as far as what our opinions should be, who should win, who should lose. Again, and of course, I'll keep a tally like we have. Just an update on said tally. The honorable one here is in the lead with 42 correct guesses, followed up in second place by LaShawn And in third, Dan the Man.
What are our points?
42 for me, 36 for you, 35 for...
Okay. Also, Dan is right there. He's right next to me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
Let's break down what is to be SummerSlam 2019. So we're going to start with Drew Gulak versus One Lorcan.
Yeah.
For the WWE Cruiserweight Championship match. Now, I'm assuming, like usual, this is going to be the preview show match. Although these guys always put on a show. Obviously, they have to kick off the show somehow. Dan writes, don't follow 205 Live much, but I just can't believe that we would take the belt off of Nice and put it on Andrew if we were going to have Drew lose the title to this guy.
So he's in belief that Drew Gulak is losing to this guy.
I don't think so because he chose Gulak. So he kind of finds it like, why did we take the belt off Nice and try to make it seem like Nice wasn't really the worthy opponent?
Yeah. Well, I think my personal sentiment is that, yes, I'm guessing we're getting another kickoff show match with this, especially for a SummerSlam. You want to get that crowd going. I don't follow 205 Live. I will just say that whatever highlights I see are very, very impressive. Those guys are doing some moves that are inimaginable. But I don't really know too much about either competitor. I'll just say Drew Gulak because I think he literally just got the title. So, but yeah, I feel like the Cruiserweight Championship has gone into a little bit of a blur because you had your Buddy Murphys and your Cedric Alexanders and your Tony Nese's, and now we're passing it down to guys who seems like weren't really like as notorious as those guys, like your Drew Gulaks and, you know, maybe if this Only Lorcan guy wins, maybe him, but...
And we're not saying that we don't keep in touch with the shows. There's a lot of matches and shows to keep up with to begin with.
It's a lot.
And granted, 205 Live with commercial breaks, essentially without them, it's like a 45-minute show.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard to keep up with these things. I personally haven't kept up with One myself. Gulak has shown me in the past and recently that he is a worthy champion. I don't see this belt moving off his waist, but you never know.
Yeah.
We're going to keep it simple with that. We're all in unison for Gulak. Moving forward, we're going to start with the John Cena of the women's division, Charlotte Flair versus the 7-time women's champion. I guess not retired. Well, she has one more match left. Trish.
She insinuated this might be her last, so I don't know.
Trish Stratus. Oh, God. Okay.
You want to do Dan's host first?
Yeah. Charlotte more than likely going to pick up the win to give her some more clout and more notches on her belt. Although I wouldn't mind seeing Charlotte get herself disqualified when Trish looks like she might pick up the win and maybe, just maybe, Lita or somebody makes the save setting up another Charlotte versus Legend match. Why would we need that? Why would we want that? Why would you want to see Charlotte just go through these legends as far as the divas / women's competitors go? I don't know, Dan. I will put my take in on this. I am personally annoyed and aggravated with seeing how we're booking Charlotte Flair. Like, it's starting to become a pattern. I said it myself. You said it to me before, off air. She's the John Cena of the women's division.
What do you call her?
Blonde Cena. I don't want her to win personally. I'm going for Trish because, granted, I don't care that it's in Toronto, in her hometown. It doesn't matter because from what we've seen in prior SummerSlam history, anything in Canada is bizarro world as far as who gets cheered for, what gets booed.
Yeah.
And it's not the whole thing of, faces get booed, heels get cheered. It could be if they don't like you, they will let you know. They don't like the match, they don't like the match. It's weird up there. I don't want to see Charlotte win because to me it's like, okay, you already don't want to put the belt on her anymore for a while. It's starting to finally set in.
Yeah.
Now it's like, no, she needs to be. She's the one, essentially, that like runs everything. The shovel's grown in her hands.
You know, I think we used to have a triple threat between Hogan, Triple H, and Cena. I think a fourth person needs to be added to that list for shovels.
Blonde Cena.
Thank you.
Dun, 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 dun. How do you like? What do you really like want out of this?
If I could be serious for a minute, yes, in an ideal world, I would be cheering for Trish. I'm thinking Charlotte's gonna pick up the win in this one. I think to maybe answer Dan's question and maybe to answer it for you, this is just my opinion. I think that the backstage politicking is that, well, people don't want to see Charlotte with the championship. They don't want to see her in a championship feud. How do we keep her busy? How do we make sure that she still has a match on the card? Oh, we'll just put her up against the legend. Yeah, let's do it.
She has to be on the card.
It's unacceptable if she's not on the card.
John, blonde.
So
is your pick Charlotte?
My pick is Charlotte. As much as it pains me because Trish was my girl from the Attitude Era. Yeah, I'm thinking Charlotte wins. Dan is right. There might be shenanigans of, she wins, but by DQ or whatnot. Yeah, I'm thinking Charlotte walks away with the win. I'm thinking a pretty cool match, a pretty decent match. But yeah, I feel like if you're not having Charlotte in the picture and if you're having lose to legends, that's like, really? Like, would they really do that? I don't think so. They wouldn't want to, spit all over the Flair name, especially for Charlotte. So, yeah, that's me.
Do you think, and this is just me, like, just playing devil's advocate for a little bit, do you think that she has to keep that prestige by personally going to the booking committee and to Vince and be like, I'm not going to have this. I don't care if they don't want me with the belt. I am not losing to her. Blah, 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 blah.
I don't think she does it, but I do think that it's there. That the booking committee just does it. Like, she's a Flair. Like, we're not good.
Flair lost so many times as well. I don't know, man. Maybe because I'm personally am tired of seeing her on TV.
I am too. If Charlotte were to come out and just carry on like, I thought what was going on with Liv Morgan was pretty cool. You could have played off of that. But instead it's like she can't be in normal matches. She's got to be in championship matches. She's got to be doing it with the legends. And it's like, can't we just give her something that's normal from the current day roster and just let her run with it?
And can we not put her towards one of the few main events?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that's what's going to happen. I'm hoping for the better. I'm still going to be the one that roots for Trish, but we never know. But moving forward, we have the self-proclaimed greatest of all time, the self-proclaimed innovator of the super kick, the self-proclaimed man that's carried the company since Shawn Michaels lost his smile, Dolph Ziggler.
The Ziggy Zag Zigster.
Versus, I'm hoping this is not your last match, that you don't screw this up because you've been giving another chance. Goldberg. In a regular one-on-one matchup.
Do you want to read what Dan said?
He said,
I gotta hear this.
and I quote,
Oh.
I would like to see a very competitive match between a match because Dolph deserves it. And Goldberg will likely walk away with the win. This isn't a terrible place for Dolph on the card outside of the nearly inevitable loss. Your notes?
I pretty much feel the same way. If at least Dolph doesn't get squashed, he can, kind of hang his, head up high and say, I was able to, hang with Goldberg in storylining. I like Ziggler, I've advocated for him for a very long time. But inevitably, I think this was more of a case of trying to right the wrong that happened at Super Showdown. Just because very underwhelming, there was circumstance, but I think they were like, well, how can we rectify this? Okay, go, you and Ziggler. So yeah, and I think just for like mass appeal, like for SummerSlam, like to bring the legends of old out, it's a place on the card where we're not taking up the main event and we're not hogging up the spotlight. It's just one more, you know.
So, I'm sorry.
No, go
off. I see. Is Goldberg your pick as well?
Goldberg is my pick.
All right,
As
so-
much as it pains me.
I thought originally we were gonna get for the umpteenth time Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz.
Thank God we didn't.
I thought we would have gotten that with a special guest referee and one Shawn Michaels.
yeah.
Then that would have made it like, all right, this is now the past meets the present meets the future, blah blah type of thing.
Yeah.
Boy, were we wrong, because after Miz TV, it was Goldberg who was next apparently.
Huh.
Is this his way of righting the wrong that he committed? Is it his fault that he committed the wrong at Super Showdown? There's a lot of opinion and a lot of speculation. I'm picking Goldberg to win this just because I think this is a matter of redemption, but I don't want this match lasting longer than like 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
Because at that point, it's like, what are you proving?
Yeah.
You never know. Moving on for the United States Championship, we have AJ, the phenomenal one,
With style.
Styles,
So.
versus Ricochet,
Recoil.
for the United States Championship. America. We salute thee. Dan writes, the OC asked to keep moving forward with their dominance, otherwise this is wasted. AJ picks up the win. Wow, that's very subtle. I kind of agree.
Yeah.
You want to build this trio to be dominant. I said if they could be booked kind of like an NWO meets the Nexus.
Yeah.
But they need to start amplifying the attitude.
Yes.
They need to start amplifying the aggression, the because you just put the Raw tag belts on them, which I kind of predicted would happen. I didn't think it would be that early though. On Anderson and Gallows.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, okay, if you make AJ lose, you make him look weak. That's just me.
Yeah.
So I'm also choosing AJ along with Dan.
I choose AJ, but I just question one thing. If Ricochet loses, where do we go from here with him?
You can't have him repeat like Samoa Joe did with AJ, or like who else has competed with AJ in constant matches?
I think that's been it.
No, then someone else have like repeat matches with Shinsuke.
Oh, you mean like outside? Oh, I thought you were
Yeah.
talking about like within his U.S. title belt.
No, just in general. Like whenever like it's been more than one match, it's like
Samoa Joe. Wendy. No, yeah, I agree with Dan. The OC, like you need to go somewhere like right now. And I think the one saving point was that they didn't get 100% buried at Raw Reunion. Like it wasn't Sweet Chin Music, it wasn't Pedigree, you know. So there was some, some saving grace in that. But yeah, like if you're gonna do it, go, you know. So yeah, I pick AJ Styles for the win. It might be because of shenanigans, or might be just fair and square one-on-one match where he beats him. But yeah, I agree with them. AJ,
we're all in agreement there.
we're all on the same page.
You always find a way.
I didn't say anything. I just said we're on the same page.
Yeah, you always find a way.
I didn't say
Moving forward, we have the dream match that is finally happening. The local resident of the Firefly Funhouse, everybody's friend, and we hope it's a friendship that will never ever end. Bray Wyatt versus one demon, Finn Balor. Now, before I get into Dan's notes, are we just seeing Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor, or are we seeing the Demon versus the Fiend?
I think we're seeing the Fiend versus Finn Balor.
Okay. So we still haven't seen how Bray Wyatt walks down a ramp or comes into a match. It's just lights go out and he attacks whoever he attacks.
Yeah.
He's already attacked Angle. He's already attacked
Mick Foley.
And then he started with Finn.
Yes.
Dan writes, you don't have the Fiend lose to Finn, especially if we aren't seeing the Demon King. I think this has to be a decisive match for Bray. I want to add into the matter that we are going to see the Demon because it is a big pay-per-view. And I'm hoping that this ends the Demon King streak. Because it seems like anytime he's the Demon King, not only does he put on a 5-star match with whoever he goes up against, he's undefeated. Regular Finn Balor, not really.
Careful when you talk about streaks in front of me.
Jesus.
I will just say this. I'm predicting this right now. I'm speculating. I'm guessing we see very short match, almost like a squash match. The Fiend destroys Finn Balor, regular Finn Balor, not Demon.
So you think Finn isn't like ready to unleash that part yet?
Well, he's because the speculation is that he's going like he's taking some time off. I'm thinking if you really want to build it, you bring him back like maybe around Hell in a Cell, and he comes up and he says, "You thought you got rid of me? You want to get nasty? We're gonna get nasty." Out comes the Demon, and then you can maybe have the Fiend versus the Demon inside Hell in a Cell.
Would you still put Bray over?
That's a discussion for a different time. I'll have to see where Bray is when we get to Hell
When
in
he
a
actually
Cell.
wrestles.
Yeah.
Okay. So we haven't seen him wrestle. We just seen, of course, the most interesting, awkward, demonic, demented of segments. And it's always been the speculation of who's really in control. The Fiend or Bray, or who's inside, who's not inside.
Yeah.
Or this whole thing about the door is the key. You have this idea that, like, there's something bigger in control, too, sometimes. Like, you're wondering what it is. Bray makes you think about his next move always. Or he's wants you to think you're 10 steps ahead when really you're probably 20 steps behind.
Yeah.
And maybe we don't see the Demon King come out on SummerSlam. Maybe we do. If we don't, then maybe it is a bigger build-up for something more scary and demented. Also, like a send-off for Finn, because everyone keeps speculating he's taking time off. To get married? Or to just be with his...
I think so.
fiancé?
I think that's what's going on, yeah.
Or just time to heal.
Yeah.
But what would you really want? Like, at its heart, like, you really want this to be a squash match? Like, what, 10 seconds?
30, 40 seconds, or even like a minute and 10, somewhere around there.
Or would you want it to be like, Finn comes out first, tries to call him out, you see the little happy theme song out of nowhere, more mind games like, hey, I'm sorry I'm not there, I really want this, I want someone to let me in, lights go like they do usually whenever Bray is ready to come out. And he just attacks him.
Yes. Maybe even opening match.
Just to get it out of the way. Because you can't really put this in the middle of the show because it seems like it's something where it's like, how do you like really impact this?
Yeah.
And you can't be thinking about it after, in the middle of the event.
Yeah.
Because that's all you're going to wonder, like, oh, when's Bray coming back? When's the Fiend coming back? Da, da, da. Are we all in on Bray?
Yes.
Okay, so Bray Wyatt is all our decisive choices for this match. Moving on to the inevitable, hopefully not going to happen in this direction, I Quit match for... It's not an I Quit match, it's just a regular match. But the stipulation is Kevin Owens must quit if he loses versus one Shane McMahon. The McMahon Seed. Shane O'Mac.
McMadman.
McDaddy-O.
What does Dan say?
Dan writes, I think he wrote something for this. There's no way KO doesn't get the win here. I expect to see heavy interference with Kevin picking up the win in a very Stone Cold fashion. So it's like another squash match, I think.
Honestly, I was thinking about this, much like how people slept on AJ versus Kevin Owens. AJ versus Shane McMahon at WrestleMania a couple of years ago. I think that there might be that same demeanor here where it's like another Shane McMahon match. But I think this is going to be entertaining. It's going to have a lot of shenanigans, interference, and all that. I think inevitably you need to get rid of Shane off screen like right now. I would even have Kevin Owens like beat him in a way where like it gives him an excuse to go away like indefinitely, like do something like, I don't know, put his head like in between two chairs and like stomp on it or something, like something brutal where it's like it warrants Shane McMahon like gone. But yeah, I say Kevin Owens, not that he should, but he must win at SummerSlam.
I think this is kind of like the gimme to Kevin Owens to make up kind of for last year.
Oh, we remember that, don't we?
Oh, inflatable tables. But I think that's the last time people saw Kevin Owens. Literally a year. The last event at SummerSlam. And yeah, he's been back. He's been playing, the role, but he's obviously tired and the shoot work. I just think that KO is going to win. In regards to, he needs to be the one that puts Shane off TV.
Yes.
Let's be real. No one wants to see you on TV anymore.
Shane has the right heat. It's what you need in 2019, but it's on the wrong person.
Yep. Very wrong person. You can put that on so many people that are deserving. Moving on, for the WWE Heavyweight Championship, you have the WWE Champion Kofi Kingston versus the Viper, the Apex Predator, the man to finally bring back a rivalry into full circle, Randy Orton. Now, it's been this thing where I've kind of been having this revival for Randy, like maybe one more title run. Maybe one more opportunity to show the world who you are. Because let's face it, he is as highly regarded as John Cena or Triple H is.
Yeah, he's a veteran at this point.
Yeah. But I think it's even starting to click with him. Like, how much time do I have left? Like, how much more do I have in me to keep going?
Not enough, because his wife RKO's him out of nowhere.
That was amazing, by the way. Dan writes, Randy shouldn't be the one to take the belt off Kofi. This should be his chance to get revenge or anything from back in the day. His money's on Kofi. What is your sentiment?
I feel the exact same way. For a second, I was going to jump on the bandwagon of Randy Orton's one last round needs to start here. But then I thought about it. I said, think about how many times we tell ourselves WWE missed the boat on a certain opportunity. Kofi Kingston right now is your WWE champion. I'm going to be very honest. I can't say that right now at this point in time I can bank on Kofi becoming champion again if he loses it. Which is why I feel like you need to do something memorable to keep this title run more prestigious. And I think that ending essentially a not feud with Randy that's been going on off and on.
Stupid! Everyone remembers that, right?
Stupid. And what I love is how they're putting all this out there. They're not ducking behind it. They're like, he used his influence to hold me back, and it's like, oh, you're going there, you're bringing that up, huh? So, yeah, I like it. And Randy took a good jab at him where he's like, I just had to be myself. I didn't have to fake a Jamaican accent. So I like it, and I think that Kofi needs to win this one just because, bless Kofi, he can wrestle his ass off. I really can't tell you when the last time he did something memorable for his title run.
I think what it is that we haven't really seen a true hey, you are a champion. It's not just written on paper. We
haven't seen single wrestler Kofi Kingston. We've seen the New Day's Kofi Kingston as our WWE champion.
Yeah, which is okay. But
We need that 2009 Kofi, the one that...
The guy who was hungry, who wanted to be the best. I'm also in unison with you guys for picking Kofi to win this because it needs to... It kind of needs to cement his title run for sure. And if he were to lose it later on to somebody else, yes, you can give him another opportunity to be a multiple-time heavyweight champion. But if you were to give it to Randy now, it'd be like wrong guy, wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah.
Everything would be wrong about it.
Yes.
Randy should get one more run, but not just yet.
Yeah.
Maybe he should go up against Brock. I don't know. There's something there that needs to be full circled. But moving on, we have the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship up for grabs with the current big old booty champion, Bayley.
Okay.
Well, she does have a big booty, I'm just saying.
Bootios. They make sure you ain't booty.
Versus the well-deserving, we have no idea if she's a face or a heel now. Especially after that weird triple threat match. Or Ember Moon.
Bark at the moon.
Ow.
Go ahead with Dan's notes.
Dan writes, oh wow. I think it might be time to put the belt on Ember Moon and see if she can't run with it. However, we could stack the cards with returns, so I think I know where he was trying to go with that since it's all in dots afterwards. Let's spell out the match first, then spell out what we want.
Yes. So, we've been saying this for a year now. Ember Moon has been very deserving. Since coming to the main roster, she really hasn't had a feud, a match, a segment that's of remembrance. It's about time she gets her opportunity. Yes, I agree. We don't really know if this is a face, a heel, an anti-hero, a little bit of both, neither here nor there. I wouldn't mind if Ember becomes champion. Bayley had a pretty decent run. I think that her character work certainly improved. She righted that wrong with Alexa Bliss from a few years back, so there's that. Could she have a lengthier title reign? Sure, I wouldn't mind, but as long as you elevate Ember and don't just send her to the back of the line after one title shot. But if I'm picking a winner, I'm going with Ember Moon.
I choose her as well, just in the regards that, like, we're not sure what direction she was trying to go as far as being a face or a heel. I don't see her as the anti-hero much. It needs to be one or the other.
Yeah.
I kind of like the heel more because it's like she's not giving into the whole, hey, I am deserving. I did earn this. I can carry the load if it's given to me. It's like, no, I deserve it now.
Yeah.
I'm sick of being seen as like an afterthought, being seen as a joke to two people in the locker room.
Yeah.
And Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. So I'm going to prove that I'm worth that belt being around my waist. So again, that's all in unison for Ember Moon. We move on to...
By the way, Dan was referring to the 4 versus 4 in his comments. So he's hoping that maybe a Shayna or a Jessamine Duke or someone interferes and slowly...
Should it just be Jessamine Duke and...
Marina Shafir?
To interfere in that one? Because the other two could be involved in this interference match?
We'll get to that.
So, for the Raw Women's Championship, we have...
Here we go.
The glass ceiling shattering, soon to be on the cover of WWE 2K20.
We can pre-order now.
Becky, the man, Lynch.
The Baxter.
Versus Canada's favorite sweetheart hero. Even though she is confusing as hell. She botched her own post-match interview. Natalya. Dan writes, Becky can't drop it to a completely deflated Natty. Okay.
Oh.
Although I could see some interference from a certain bird-face killer returning to build toward Mania, perhaps? So this is a submission match. It's not a one-on-one wrestling match. It's a submission match for the Raw Women's Championship. I kind of stated this too. I said, if you're going to build on a rivalry to be renewed and to carry on with a 4 versus 4, you need to bring back Mouse Rat. You really, as much as no one wants her on TV, as much as no one wants her in the WWE, as much as no one wants to see her get the push because she hasn't really earned it or deserving of it, it has to be now. And this would be the right heat for her because she would be pretty good as a heel. Because why? Like we all saw at WrestleMania, we didn't get the true definitive end we graciously wanted because God forbid if I work, I can't even do that right. I need a moment.
The commish gets real and go.
You had one job to do. One. All it would have lasted for is 3 seconds. Or just maybe, tap. That's all you had to do. But no. Because an improved figure 4 leg lock doesn't mean jack that it wouldn't make you tap. Because a reversal of your own signature move would make no sense to hurt you even though you tapped months back before Survivor Series. You couldn't even do that right. You had one job to do. You had one freaking job to do. Now right your wrong. If this is what everyone wants to see, you will come back on Sunday. You will make Becky lose the one final thing that means the world to her. And you will bring your posse of idiots along with you.
Shayna's not an idiot.
Plus Shayna. To prove who is the better quartet of women.
I gotta take 2 surveys here.
Hey, yo.
Talking about one aspect of this. So, just so I throw it out there, I've been saying it for months. I'm calling it right now. Ronda Rousey comes out, costs Becky Lynch the title, Natalya wins. Cool.
So you pick Natty?
I'm picking Natty, yes. As much as it pains me because I will take my second survey when it comes to that. First survey question. If the raccoon comes back, do you actually think she's gonna do the right thing?
Oh wait, she can do the right thing?
Because I feel like if we build this up to Mania, we're gonna go back to, well, I don't want to lose, so you're gonna make me win. Even if you build it up to a Survivor Series, I feel like it's gonna be the same story. So that's why I'm like, this would make sense, but if her ego can't handle it, why bring her back?
I just want to know if she's finally been able to swallow her pride and do it.
You're asking for too much.
Apparently, when it comes to her, I am. And it's annoying. What's your second survey?
So you and I, you guys. Hey yo. You and I talked about this. You guys can go and watch Shooting the Shoot Volume 3 where the commission and I sit down and we talk about this. And you thought I was being brutal when I said this. Natalya. Why do you talk?
And when you talk, why do you butcher it? It's so
I can't buy anything this woman says. Becky destroyed Natalya in that promo. Destroyed her.
Because she didn't have to say much in the promo either.
You cut to Natalya and it's like she hasn't even heard this promo. She's like, it's going to be a big celebration in Canada. It's like, no, you don't say that when someone just destroyed your career. You don't go, it's going to be a big celebration in Canada. No! I'm sorry, but whether Total Divas is semi-scripted or fully scripted or whatever, Lana was right, Natalia. You need to have more convincing promos because you can't cut promos for shit.
That's true.
I asked you on Shooting the Shoot Volume 3, and I will ask you now.
Okay.
When was the last time you felt like Natalia is red hot? We got to get behind her right now.
I think I answered like this.
Crickets.
Never!
But you had to think about it for a second.
I did because I really had to look into her whole career.
You thought I was just being brutal, but I'm like, tell me a time.
You were being brutally honest with it, and I was trying to give some kind of saving grace up until the point where I had to think about it. She hasn't had a moment where I could be like, hey, that was her year. That was her match. That was her standout moment. That was her best promo. None of it. Nothing.
I rest my case.
I'm picking Natty to win as well. Dan's the only one picking Becky to win.
Oh, he says
He
there's
picked
interference, but Becky still wins, is what he's saying.
I think so.
Okay.
I just, like... my superior excellence of excellence sharpshooter versus your inferior disarmer. And that's why I'm not going to challenge her. What the hell are you trying to say?
Was it like reverse psychology?
No, it was reverse psychology, and then it's like, no, I'm not going to challenge her. It's like, okay, so you're trying to say that you're the better. You should challenge her to this type of match, but you're not going to because she's unworthy? Then doesn't that say you're unworthy of the championship match? You moron? Like, what?
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 You said what?
What? Okay. And moving on with the main of...
The fact that he can't even finish the sentence.
Okay, I'm tired of seeing it. It's starting to become like Roman versus this guy.
Beautiful.
We have, for the WWE Universal Championship, we have the man dating the man.
No homo.
Seth, the architect, the beast slayer, the one and only Socko Rollinsian.
Yes.
Seth freaking Rollins
Burn it down.
versus the reigning, defending, undisputed Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar.
Careful, we don't have insurance.
No, we really don't. That's a cleanser.
What does Dan say?
Dan writes, and I quote,
If he writes.
he wrote, I think bringing Brock back may have been a stunt to hype SummerSlam. I expect Seth to walk out with the belt, but Brock is probably the easy money. So he's picking Seth, but he wouldn't. It's like he's convinced that like if either or wins, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So that goes back to my whole play on how much lack of prestige this belt has. What's your say on this?
I don't know which way to go with this. Like, if we get a good, clean match, I'm not talking about just a low blow and 3 curb stomps. I'm talking like...
And chair shots and...
Or even like the matches that he's had with Finn Balor, AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan. All very good matches.
I'd like to see that.
If he can have that with Seth, I'd be like, okay, he did something. I would much rather have the title be on Seth just because we get to see it every week, and Seth would have classic matches with that belt when he was not facing Baron Corbin.
And now he's off TV. Thank God.
And so is Lacey.
I'm kind of mixed about that.
Yeah, me too. If I were to pick a winner, I'm gonna go with Seth.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw the curveball at you guys. I pick Brock. And this is why. Personally, no offense to Seth, I'm tired of this belt. I'm tired of what this belt has become. I'm annoyed with how much I think this belt has become a joke.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be like you are the fans' champion, the universal champion. Brock Lesnar holds that belt hostage that at one point I forget that it even exists.
Yes.
Because of how much he's not on TV. However, seeing as how Paul Heyman is now in charge of Monday Night Raw, we've seen him a lot more lately on Raw. So that means because if you didn't hear one of our episodes way back, he makes $130K for an appearance.
That's scary.
So what? He's had 3 appearances already?
Yeah.
That's $300. That's almost $400,000.
And I believe that when he wrestled, it's $500,000.
And he hasn't wrestled yet. So he's almost made $1 million as of this Sunday.
Does the cash-in count?
Actually, it does. So he's made $1.5 million in the matter of a month. All for doing this. Showing up, beating the shit out of Seth, and then just not even speaking. I mean, I like that he doesn't speak. He lets Paul do it. But this belt has no meaning to me anymore.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm excited. Like, don't get me wrong. I was happy Seth won at WrestleMania. But WWE decided to bury me with Baron Corbin and Seth for like 3 months straight. And it's like, are you serious? You couldn't give him Drew? You couldn't give him Bobby? You couldn't give him Braun? No, you gave him Baron Corbin, Lacey Evans, and Brock Lesnar. You came full circle within a month. The only good thing that came out of all of that is the 4-year full circle.
Yeah.
That we got with Brock cashing in on Seth. And that was the only moment where I was actually happy and excited to see Brock Lesnar cash in on Seth Rollins.
It felt right.
Like, it felt like it needed to happen, and it was literally stars aligned, right place, right time, right guy moment.
But then the very next night, that 10-man battle royal happened. Which is where I felt like we fell off.
What was the need? I mean...
Hashtag push Cesaro.
Well, other than that, but... What was the need of it if we knew it was going to be Seth?
That was weird.
They're not invoking that whole rematch clause anymore.
Because he earned it.
But I feel like that's what it really was. And it made it seem so obvious in the order of people getting eliminated towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like a part of, like, I was slowly dying as that match went on because I'm like, oh, it'll be Cesaro. Oh, it's not Cesaro. Oh, it'll be Braun Strowman. Oh, it's not Braun. Oh, it'll be so-and-so. Oh, it's not so-and-so.
Oh, Bobby. No,
we're back to Seth again. I see.
And have you ever felt that way about Seth? Like, where you're like,
The match with Dean Ambrose?
that was both their faults.
That was bad.
But it was both their faults. But at this time, it was just like...
But it like, when you think about it, it's like, it just doesn't make sense. Seth is champion. Brock cashes in. Seth wins a battle royal. And if he wins at SummerSlam, it's like, oh, we took the belt off you just to put it back on you. Not that it's not okay to do that, but there is a time and a place for everything.
It gives the belt less meaning.
Yes.
So you guys are picking Seth. I'm going in on Brock.
I am questionable. Like, I can go either way, but just for the sake of giving you a definite answer, I'm saying Seth. maybe we finally get Drew.
How about this? I'll give you an opportunity. I'll even text Dan this opportunity as well.
Okay.
You said you're questionable, right?
Yeah.
Why were you questionable? Because
I feel like it could go either way.
Okay. What if I let your decision be that way? Either way. Meaning you choose both.
Like a free pass?
A free pass that doubles up your points.
Ooh.
By 4.
Okay.
Do you want that option?
Let's do it.
All right.
You can make that rule 1 per pay-per-view. If there's a match that you're skeptical about, I'm going to use my free pass. Oh.
And
I will use my double or nothing. Huh? Get it? Because it's like 4 and then you're tripling the...
Yeah, moving forward.
Apparently so is Cody.
You'll eventually hear that episode, guys. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I'm sticking with just the one definite on Brock.
Okay. Well, with all that said, there you go, guys. We just previewed SummerSlam 2019. I think it's going to be a night filled with comebacks, returns, surprises, swerves, bait and switches. But we'll just have to see what happens. So let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you so much for listening, and we will catch you all next time.